Imagine a world teetering on the brink, where the scales of justice are hopelessly skewed. A shadowy figure emerges, not from the halls of power, but from the depths of society's despair, to impose his own brand of order. Tonight, we plunge into The Enforcer, a chilling cinematic journey that forces us to question everything we believe about law, justice, and the thin line between hero and villain. Welcome back, cinematic explorers, to a channel where we dissect the most thought-provoking films and uncover every hidden detail. If you're new here, thank you for joining our community of movie enthusiasts. Our story opens with a flurry of news reports and public opinions about a mysterious vigilante. Citizens from Europe to the States express a mix of fear and admiration, praising his direct action against criminals and corrupt officials. Many see him as a real hero and a knight for the helpless, frustrated with the failing police and judicial systems. He's described as taking out the trash, a sentiment that resonates deeply with those who feel unprotected. The vigilante himself then broadcasts a message, addressing the public directly. He states that everything that I do for you, claiming the public exists in a state of sleep paralysis. He argues that everyone is nothing but playthings, manipulated by figures like Clinton, Biden, and Trump. These leaders, he asserts, never risk their own lives but trick citizens into dying for a country that does nothing for them. His chilling conclusion: if you do nothing, I have to do something. Next, we see three gangsters preparing for a shakedown, with the boss instructing his subordinates to just look angry while he does the talking shit. He threatens to burn his fucking store down if they don't get paid. Interpol Regional Chief Henry then gives a statement, revealing an international investigation to apprehend the vigilante. He suggests the vigilante might be part of an international terror cell that is against democracy, possibly supported by Russian or Chinese governments. Our vigilante encounters the three gangsters again, this time on a bus, refusing to pay their fare. He calmly intervenes, explaining the economic ramifications of fare evasion. If 10% doesn't pay, the cost will go up. He pays for them, earning the gratitude of the bus driver, but the thugs dismiss him as a fucking loser. He cryptically tells them, "You're gonna look back at this moment and realize that it is the luckiest you have ever been." Next, we meet Elsa, a young woman hospitalized after a brutal gang rape. The vigilante visits her, introducing himself as being just here to help. He asks what she wants to happen to the men who did this to her. He then paints a grim picture of the legal process, years of trials, being called a liar, and the risk of the perpetrators repeating their crimes. When she desperately asks, "Do you want justice?" he simply says, "Yes," and leaves, implying he will deliver it. Chief Henry and his team track a signal, leading them to a bar frequented by the vigilante. The vigilante, pretending to be a wealthy American citizen, coolly deflects their questions about his DNA found at the scene, challenging their legal right to obtain it. Chief Henry orders his team to pay this fucker a visit. In another broadcast, the vigilante speaks of man-made tools of oppression, and how the state, court, and police only exist to control you. He promises to help people take that control back. He then appears as a client to a sex worker, but quickly shifts the focus to her living conditions, specifically a mold problem. He reveals, "Because I own the building," instructing her to report the mold to the managers, hinting at his deeper, unseen influence. Chief Henry is later seen unwinding at a bar when two tipsy women approach him, playfully trying to get him to drink with them. He muses on the law, stating that people that are innocent, they can go home. People that are guilty must pay the price. The vigilante, also at the bar, observes two men attempting to drug the women's drinks. He intervenes, calmly telling the women, "I switched them. That's what's going on. They drank and..." The men quickly succumb to the drugs, having consumed their own spiked beverages, allowing the women to escape unharmed. Meanwhile, Chief Henry's team raids what they believe to be the vigilante's hideout, but find it empty, leading them to suspect it's not just a single individual. A news report reflects on the incident, questioning if the current system is failing to protect our citizens and the need to re-evaluate migration policies. The vigilante confronts Chief Henry and his armed team, warning them, "If you try to stop me from doing my job, I will be forced to kill you all." We then see the vigilante, now identified as Mr. Sanders, in a corporate setting, inspecting financial figures with his manager, Owen. He expresses frustration over a 10% rent default rate, calling it unacceptable and stealing from me. He demands immediate evictions, and if the courts are too slow, he declares, "My people will sort it out," revealing his vast, shadowy network. Owen remarks on missing Sanders' father, who was proud of his military career. Sanders reveals his estranged relationship with his father, saying, "I don't know anything about him. Didn't even know he had cancer." Owen then informs Sanders about tax authorities investigating his holding companies, especially regarding social housing units and the government's desire to seize empty units for housing migrants. Sanders, ever the businessman, coldly suggests, "We can rent them to them at full cost," reiterating his policy, "No empty units." He dismisses the residency issue by stating, "I'm an American, Owen. I'm just here on an extended vacation." Sanders is later at a bar, reflecting on his strained relationship with his deceased father, expressing understanding for his father's priorities now that he runs the company. Chief Henry's team again raids a suspected location, only to find an empty box, confirming the vigilante's elusive nature. Frustrated, Henry declares, "This shit has to stop." The vigilante confronts the parents of the 14-year-old rape victim, asking if they or their daughter found justice in court. The mother tearfully confirms, "No. There was no justice." Chief Henry later visits Elsa, the rape victim, who recalls the vigilante's earlier visit, mistaking Henry for her friendly colleague. She describes the small, Middle Eastern-looking, black hair, beard man who promised her justice, aiding Henry in his investigation. The vigilante corners the young men who evaded bus fares and then the ones who assaulted the women at the bar. He forces one of the bus thugs to call his parents to press charges on each one of these pieces of shit. He warns the men who drugged the women, "If I ever see you put your hands on anyone else ever again, I will visit you, and you will not be walking away from it." To all of them, he declares, "If the police don't protect you, I have to protect you. I do this for you until you learn to do it for yourself." Chief Henry's team finally discovers the vigilante's true fortress, a meticulously hidden bunker rented under a false identity. Inside, they find a bound Judge Reinhold, unconscious, having been injected with what appears to be heroin. The vigilante, appearing on screen, taunts the judge, suggesting he has a bit of a tolerance for heroin, given his leniency towards drug dealers. He accuses the judge of having lost your North Star, using laws to help people hurt people, and causing collateral damage. He plays a clip of the judge minimizing the gang rape of a 14-year-old girl, calling the judge the cancer that is killing it, by excusing such behavior. The vigilante then demonstrates human obedience to law, showing a car driving into a ditch rather than illegally crossing a line, highlighting people's fear of breaking rules even at the cost of their lives. He concludes that the judge, by freeing the rapists, is just as bad as the perpetrators. The vigilante visits the home of Yusuf al-Shara, one of the acquitted rapists, calmly greeting his family. He shoots Yusuf in the leg, not an artery, and forces the family to sit while he confronts Yusuf and his father. Yusuf apologizes, claiming, "We thought she wanted it," a statement the vigilante brutally dissects, detailing the horrific reality of the rape. He sarcastically references the traumatic integration defense used in court, then exposes Yusuf's social media posts where he stated the victim deserved to be raped. The vigilante questions their archaic value system and commitment to religion over democracy. He forces Yusuf to start calling your friends one by one and telling them to come over here right now, promising a little chat. Chief Henry finally confronts the vigilante, who is now surrounded by Yusuf's terrified friends, all tied up. The vigilante proclaims he has a message for you to take to the government. He warns that the Islamist extremists and blind-sided woke left are attempting an unfriendly takeover that will destroy the democracy you say you love. He asserts that, if this takeover is successful, it'll destroy the democracy you say you love, and that, we the people will end it ourselves. He tells Henry to deliver the message, stating, "After all, you're the only one with the message. Now take it to them. They will listen." News reports then confirm a series of murders of 3 judges, initially ruled suicides, now including Judge Reinhold. It's also reported that all individuals implicated in the recent gang rape case who avoided prison sentences are now dead, including Yusuf's entire family. The news questions, what possesses the greater threat to society, the criminals committing these heinous acts or the vigilante who is eliminating them? It implies the vigilante is stepping in because the system has failed to ensure safety and justice for the public. The vigilante's final broadcast reiterates his mission, to help people take that control back, show them, you are no longer the victims, and that, it's time to go out and show these fuckers that they aren't getting away with it anymore. His chilling mantra echoes one last time, I do this for you until you learn to do it for yourself. What an intense and morally complex film, leaving us with so many questions about justice, society, and personal responsibility. Let me know your thoughts on The Enforcer in the comments below. Did the vigilante go too far, or was his extreme action justified? Don't forget to like this video, share it with a fellow movie buff, and subscribe for more deep dives into cinema's most impactful stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next recap.